Okay, I'm back. I'm still on my balcony. You can hear the outside noise, but it feels really good out here. But in this video, I wanted to talk. A lot of people have been asking me about like the medical community. Have you been able to find doctors and stuff like that? And so some of you know if you've been following and watching all of my videos, and if you haven't, go back and watch them. They're good. But if you've been following, one of the biggest reasons why I moved here was for my health. I had gotten to the point where the stress of my life in the United States was just a lot, and I needed a change. And so being able to move here, because the American dollar goes so much further in Mexico, allowed me to step back from my business a little bit, work a little bit less, pay myself a little bit less, and still be able to maintain and live a similar lifestyle that I had in the United States. And so as soon as I moved here, I knew that I needed to get connected with a medical professional or the medical community, because I'm 51 at the time of this recording. And so I had a lot of doctors in the States, so I had to kind of replace them in a sense. So again, my Facebook groups that I joined were huge benefits. I mean, social media is just like that. You can get referrals and recommendations. And so I just asked, and I combed the group and found, recommendations for medical professionals. So the first doctor that I was a general practitioner. We call them PCPs in the United States. So I went to the general practitioner just to have somebody as my primary care doctor to do like a baseline. So we did a physical, and let me just tell you that going to the doctor here in Mexico is totally different from the experience in the United States. And I'm just gonna say different. I'm not saying anyone is better or worse, it's just different. So different in the way, so when I went to the doctor, she's like a sole practitioner. So she didn't have anybody like working at the front desk, doing paperwork or anything like that, or taking whatever. So I just came to her office, and I went into her office, and we sat down at the desk, and she just started asking me questions. She's entering all my information in the computer. I didn't have to fill out any paperwork. She entered all of my information. And I'm talking like vital information. She's asking me questions about my history, my family history, my personal health history. She's got all these questions that she's asking, and she's documenting all of this information in the computer. And she's talking about, why I'm here and all of these things, and what are some of my health goals. It was nice. Like, it almost felt like a therapy session in a sense, right? So we talked about all of these things, and then she did the exam. So she actually examined me, like a physical. They touch you all over the place and listen to all the stuff, measure me, weigh me, and all of this stuff. And then after she did the physical, then I went back to her desk and we talked some more, and she talked about like the health strategy that we're gonna use. And one of the first things that she told me was I needed to lose weight. I don't know if you remember, but I was 30 pounds heavier than I am in this video. So I was a little fluffy, and I needed to lose the weight because the extra weight that I was carrying was contributing to my hypertension, and it just wasn't good for me and my body. And so she talked about that, and she was talking about like the fact that it's really hot here, and it's a different kind of hot. So she was talking to me about making sure that I am hydrated, and that's why I get Gatorade, just to replenish the electrolytes. She said, it's just different. But it was an amazing experience. I was with her for an hour. I've never spent an hour with a doctor before. And my appointment was 600 pesos, which is like $30 US, right? Blown away. I was just blown away. I never, ever experienced anything like that. And every single doctor that I've gone to since I've been here, it's been like that. Like, I was having some issues with my knee, and I just wanted to make sure that I didn't injure it, because I was working out and all this stuff, but there were certain exercises that my trainer wanted me to do that I couldn't do because my knee was bothering me. So I asked the doctor that I told you about for a referral to an ortho to see, just to see if everything's everything, right? Make sure. I don't remember injuring myself, but I want to make sure. So I went to an orthopedic doctor, same experience. Sat down with the doctor, he asked me a bunch of questions, we had a conversation. I'm talking about my knees, I'm talking about my lifestyle before I got to Mexico, some of the things that I'm doing differently now that I'm here, all of those things. He did an examination of my knee. He had me do certain exercises, and like watch me walk and different things that he had me doing, and he's paying attention to my knee. And then they did an x-ray, like right there in the office. So he did an x-ray of the knee just to make sure that there was nothing there. After we did the x-ray, they gave me my x-ray on a CD, because that's one thing about Mexico, you kind of have to be your own keeper of records. But they gave me the x-ray on the CD, and we went back to his office, and he explained everything. He put my x-ray up on the computer, explained it, everything, and all my doctors speak English, I forgot to say that. He explained everything, and it was amazing, right? Gave me, told me some exercises to do. Essentially, there's nothing wrong with my knee. It was just because, one, I was carrying extra weight that I hadn't had in a while, and I hadn't been exercising, so the muscles around that knee was weak. And that's what my trainer said too. But again, I just wanted to make sure. All of that, again, I spent an hour with the doctor. It was like $80, $90 for that, right? I've gotten my eyes examined. I went to the gynecologist. Oh my gosh. So the gynecologist, I had an amazing gynecologist in the United States. Absolutely amazing. I loved her. It's like somebody that we would go out to dinner if, we were cool like that. Like, she was just like that. But this appointment was same thing. Like, this is the thing. You sit down, talk to the doctor, they examine you, then they talk to you some more. And we did all of that. And let me just say, she had this monitor up in her office while she's examining me. A part of their exam, in addition to doing a PAP, they also do an ultrasound on a regular visit. And so she's doing the ultrasound. She's got my peach, we'll say, up on the monitor and just showing me different things. I'd never seen the inside of my body like that. And she was explaining stuff to me. I was just blown away. Just so thorough, so caring. My primary care doctor gave me a hug when we left the office. It's just been an amazing experience with the medical stuff. I feel really cared for. I got my mammogram last week, and here when they do your mammogram, they do a mammogram and a breast ultrasound at the same time. When I was in the United States, they only did the ultrasound if there was something wrong with the mammogram. And because I have dense breasts, I always had to go back to do the ultrasound, and it always freaked me out. So it was kind of reassuring that they did both at the same time, and I didn't have to have that whole freak out moment of having to go back because something was wrong with my mammogram. And they did it all at one time, and it was $66. It was just, it's just been amazing, the medication. Now, one thing else that's different here is, in the United States, when you get a prescription, they put your prescription in those little bottles. They don't do that here. The box that it comes in from the manufacturer, they just give you those boxes. So I have hypothyroidism. It's probably irreversible. I've had it since 2005. And so I have to take a pill every day just to maintain my thyroid gland. And the box that my pills come in, if they come in quantities of 50, which is not a month and it's not 2 months, but whatever, And so when I go and get my medication, I just go and get that. It's so different. It's just different. It's not wrong. It's not better. I won't say better or worse. It's just different. But one thing that I do feel is that being here, I do feel cared for. I feel heard because they actually listen to you and talk to you. And I have the cell phone numbers of all of my doctors. And so I can text them at any time if I have any questions. All your appointments here are made on WhatsApp. It's just nice. I am obviously doing a lot better, and I feel like a big part of that is because the medical community here is amazing. So that's my expat tale. So again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your care and concern. I appreciate the fact that you're even interested in this, right? And so thank you. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. If you have any other questions or you want to know or want me to do a video about something else, make sure you put it in the comments. I appreciate you all. Have a great one.